Whoa. What the f?
Hey everybody, it's Charlie. We got to freak out about new Spider-Man Far From Home. There's a new trailer that's coming really soon too that I'll explain. But most of you probably remember when Jake Gyllenhaal almost replaced Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man on Spider-Man 2. So I'll explain what's going on in this. It's just a fun teaser with a couple big Easter eggs and then obviously a really good look at the two new Spider-Man suits in Far From Home. We're doing a new round of that IMAX ticket giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave your favorite Spider-Man moment on the video. The big thing here, Jake Gyllenhaal is just joining social media and confirming that he's playing Mysterio. Like, we knew that he was playing Mysterio for a long time because we saw them filming scenes with him in his full-on tech Quentin Beck Mysterio-looking costume. But even if you see it with your own eyes, you technically can't call it official until Marvel makes the announcement, and this is their way of doing that in just a funny haha moment. Like the way that Tom Holland nowadays accidentally, totally on purpose, spoils stuff because it's all part of their marketing plan. The reason why they're dropping a trailer this weekend and why Jake Gyllenhaal is dropping all these teasers and Tom Holland is being really funny in the background too is because CCXP, Brazil Comic Con, is happening and studios take a whole bunch of footage because it's the last big convention of the year. Jake Gyllenhaal himself is making a joke about the time that he almost became Spider-Man during the Tobey Maguire era. That's what that caption, "Guys, I just realized I'm not playing Spider-Man," is all about. If you're really young and you weren't around for that, or if you don't remember, what happened is when they were filming Spider-Man 2, Tobey Maguire hurt his back really bad and couldn't continue filming, so Sony was getting ready to replace him as Spider-Man with Jake Gyllenhaal. They had him all ready to go. Tobey Maguire marshaled every person in Hollywood that he could to help him beg for his job back as Spider-Man, and Sony and the producers reinstated him, so we got Tobey Maguire, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3, but for a really brief period, Jake Gyllenhaal was almost Spider-Man. So when you see those Jake Gyllenhaal Photoshop jobs of him as Spider-Man, that's what that's all about. The comic book that he's reading is Amazing Spider-Man number 311, The Return of a Man Called Mysterio, and the one that's framed behind him on the wall is Amazing Spider-Man 66, The Madness of Mysterio. Both of them are references to some of the inspiration for the story of the movie, just like a little bit of the story of the movie and a little bit of the character, confirming him as the Quentin Beck Mysterio. The one that he's reading here is actually part of a larger Marvel Inferno arc. It's a big X-Men crossover from the late 80s. The X-Men were huge during that period, so obviously a lot of the crossovers were centered around them. But in this issue, Mysterio is trying to fundamentally break Spider-Man's psyche by creating illusions to make him think that he's responsible for the death of an innocent person. Spider-Man figures out that all the evidence from the crime scene wasn't real, it was an illusion, making him think of Mysterio, so he tracks him down, but their big final battle in the issue takes place on the set of a sci-fi action movie. So Spider-Man's big solution for taking him down is to just cut off the power supply that Mysterio is using to power all of his technology. The real meta thing here that I'm hoping that they go for, bit of an Easter egg, is because Spider-Man is such a pop culture movie reference person in the MCU, is because that battle takes place on the set of a sci-fi action movie, so wouldn't it be funny if we're watching Tom Holland in a movie fight Mysterio on the set of a movie? But I don't know if they would go for an Easter egg that deep. This is just a little speculation. But the issue on the wall behind him, Amazing Spider-Man 66, is a direct reference to a scene that we know is happening in the movie. Remember all the behind-the-scenes footage we saw of Spider-Man fighting Mysterio on the Carousel set when they were traveling through Europe? This is meant to be Prague, Czech Republic in the movie, but they filmed it somewhere else in real life. But But in Amazing Spider-Man 66, Mysterio goes on live television to challenge Spider-Man to a battle. It takes place at a carnival, and the other cool Easter egg about Mysterio you guys have probably realized is that in real life, Mysterio is following the Vulture as the main villain of a big Spider-Man sequel, but in the comics, Marvel actually retconned Mysterio's first appearance. So in Amazing Spider-Man #2, the first appearance of the Vulture, Spider-Man battles him, but in the same issue, there's a group of aliens that Marvel later retconned to say that it was Mysterio using his technology to disguise himself. So Mysterio essentially follows the Vulture as the next big villain, even though in reality he didn't debut till a little bit later in the comics. The video of the suits just gives you a much better look at them up close. So we have the SHIELD stealth suit that Nick Fury probably gives him. Then we have the upgraded Stark Tech suit made to look like the original Steve Ditko black and red suit. There's still a lot of unanswered questions about what's going on with these because all the footage we've seen of them doesn't involve any real special effects or CG or anything like that. Like, what other tech is embedded in this SHIELD armor? Because this really does look like it's inspired by the Spider-Man Noir costume, but it's made to look like a stealth armor suit with like a giant chest plate. Like, it's designed more like a tactical suit that he would wear into battle, as opposed to his normal Spider-Man suit, which is a little more lightweight. The reason why I say this is probably a SHIELD suit is because it has a SHIELD emblem on it, and we know that he's wearing it in the fight at the big carousel that I was just talking about. And Nick Fury shows up while he's traveling around Europe. We've seen him in the canals here. So he shows up and probably helps Spider-Man with some new gear to fight Mysterio and the other sinister people that he's working with. The most practical theory that I've seen about why he needs this special armor stealth suit is because he's traveling through Europe with all of his classmates, and if Spider-Man in his traditional Stark Tech suit showed up everywhere that Peter Parker did, anybody with a cell phone and a social media account would eventually find out his secret identity. Pretty easy to guess that MJ also figures out his secret identity separately, but we don't know when that's going to happen during the movie. But just a quick timeline explainer, the movie itself is supposed to pick up after the events of Avengers 4, like minutes after Avengers 4. They didn't say anything about any time jumps or anything like that, so we'll find out about that pretty soon. The movie is not supposed to be a prequel, but there's still a whole lot of questions we have about how Avengers fix the timeline in a way that brings everyone back from being dusted without a lot of the regular people remembering that they died. But I do think that it's really important for his character development that Spider-Man remember the Snapshot. Remembering that you died for a little while is so great for his inner turmoil. They can mine that for the next couple of movies. They did that with Iron Man after the first Avengers movie, like the trauma of almost dying when he was in outer space, sending the nuke through the portal. They didn't pay that off till Iron Man 3, but think about Spider-Man getting a similar version of that. But the new rumor right now is that the Avengers 4 trailer is supposed to drop Friday morning, and the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer will drop Saturday morning. So whenever it drops, I will totally make videos for it, no worries. There's also supposed to be some Avengers-related stuff happening tomorrow, but I don't know what that's going to be. If it's cool, I will totally make a video for it. Congratulations, Saul G, you're the giveaway winner from my last big Marvel video. Please email me on the About page of my channel so I can get your details. Click here to rewatch the Captain Marvel trailer, and click here for my non-spoilery Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse review. Thank you so much for watching. Everybody stay awesome. I'll see you guys tonight.